reconvene as the Common Council. I'd like to call the meeting to order, and let's do the Pledge of Allegiance. Please call the roll.
Alderman Strelchuk?
Here.
Alderman Tlaco? Alderman Meyer? Here. Alderman Hancher?
Here.
Alderman Bach?
Here.
Alderman Parrish?
Here.
Alderman Schneider?
Here.
Alderman Gebhardt?
Here.
And Mayor Nervin.
Here. First, we have personal appearances and public comment. Citizens wishing to address the council on any matter not on the agenda may do so at this time. If you desire to be heard on agenda items, you may be heard when that item is considered on the agenda. Please speak into the microphone at the podium. Time limit is 5 minutes. Is there anyone here who wishes to speak this evening about something not on the agenda? Seeing no one, we'll move on to public officials' reports. I have just one. One short month from now, we'll be having Taste of Mequon here out on the steps of City Hall, and I hope you're able to join me and hopefully many other members from council in celebrating, I think, our 10th year as Taste of Mequon. So it's our 10-year anniversary, and I'm excited. It will be good food, music, some art, and plenty of activities for the kids. So I hope you can make it and wish to see you there. Does the administrator have any comments?
Just one comment, Mayor, and before we get to the fun associated with the Taste of Mequon, we got to get going on the budget. And over the last couple of weeks, staff in our office has been polling the council to determine availability for a budget workshop meeting. We have a date, and so please mark your calendars for 3 weeks from tonight. Tuesday, August 29th, we'll be having our initial budget workshop meeting starting at 6 o'clock in this room. We'll be following up with an email to all members of the council later this week. And we're going to endeavor to do all of the budget workshop in one meeting. We put out a bunch of different dates. However, it didn't quite match up for the majority of the council. And so we're going to try and be efficient with everyone's time and have a really organized agenda and a meeting sequence planned out so that we can endeavor to get it all done in one night. If there's a determination made at that budget workshop meeting that there needs to be an additional meeting before you all convene as the Appropriations Committee in October. Certainly we'll have time to determine that and if necessary, schedule a second meeting sometime in September as the council may wish. So Tuesday, August 29th, 6 p.m. We'll follow up with an email here later this week. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have the consent agenda. We have 9 sets of minutes from various boards and commissions and 2 resolutions. Is there any item someone would like broken out to discuss separately, or is there a motion to approve them?
Approve.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the whole bunch. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And those items are approved. That brings us to ordinance first readings. We have just one. Ordinance 2023-1653, an ordinance amending the City of Mequon operating budget for the fiscal year 2023 to adjust the budgeted amounts within the Department of Public Works due to unanticipated repairs and material costs in a net amount not to exceed of $36,576. This was recommended earlier this evening by the Finance and Personnel Committee, and it is a first reading. Next, we have resolutions. Resolution 4059, a resolution amending the City of Mequon financial policies to include policy statement 18 related to payment card acceptance. This was recommended earlier this evening by the Committee of the Whole. Is there a motion or any questions?
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further comments or discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And that item's approved. Next is Resolution 4060, a resolution approving the following in connection with a reforestation and wetland restoration project at the Mequon Nature Preserve. A 20-year limited-term conservation easement between the City of Mequon and MMSD, an intergovernmental cooperation agreement between the city and MMSD, and a memorandum of understanding between the city and Mequon Nature Preserve. There's a recommendation forthcoming from Public Works this evening.
The Public Works moved to approve it unanimously, and I'd just like to add that this is really an amazing boon to the Mequon Nature Preserve. We are getting free of charge over 40,000 trees, both big and small, for reforestation, so that will bring the Nature Preserve well ahead of its schedule for reforestation, and all this agreement is doing is doing an easement so that it says we're not going to be cutting the trees down, et cetera. So it's really great all the way around.
I agree, it's a big win and aligns perfectly with their mission. That was a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further comments or questions? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And that resolution is adopted. Resolution 4061, a resolution following in connection with heating, ventilation, and air conditioning work performed by Dillett Mechanical of Waukesha, Wisconsin during fiscal year 2023, including an emergency repair of the City Hall HVAC system in the amount of $16,050, and B, annualized expenditures in excess of $25,000. There is also a recommendation forthcoming from Public Works.
Also unanimously recommended.
And
Move
motion
approval.
to approve. Okay.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion needed on this item? Hearing or seeing none, please call the roll.
Alderman Strelchuk,
Aye.
Alderman Talaco, Alderman Meyer,
Aye.
Alderman Hancher,
Aye.
Alderman Bach,
Aye.
Alderman Parrish,
Aye.
Alderman Schneider,
Aye.
Alderman Gebhardt.
Aye.
And that resolution is adopted as well. Next, we have Resolution 4062, a resolution ratifying the following in connection with electrical work performed by Giltzer Electric of Mequon during the fiscal year 2023, an emergency motor replacement and pump repair at the Mequon Community Pool in the amount of $9,678, and a change order in the amount of $6,438 related to the installation of new lighting in the library parking lot, and also annualized expenditures in excess of $25,000. Recommendation forthcoming from
Also
Public
unanimous, and I move approval.
Second.
Works. Motion and a second. Any further comments or questions on this item from anyone on the council? Hearing and seeing none, please also call the roll.
Alderman Talaco, Alderman Meyer,
Aye.
Alderman Hancher,
Aye.
Alderman Bach,
Aye.
Alderman Parrish,
Aye.
Alderman Schneider,
Aye.
Alderman Gebhardt,
Aye.
Alderman Strelchuk.
That item too is adopted. Next, Resolution 4063, resolution authorizing staff to enter into lease agreements with Enterprise Fleet Management for 3 Chevy Equinoxes for an estimated 3-year cost of $57,388. There's a recommendation forthcoming from Public Works.
Also recommended, and this is really also a win because we have 3 vehicles which retain their value for 3 years, which upon their sale will cover the lease for a 3-year period. Move approval.
Motion and a second. Any further comments or questions? Alderman Meyer.
I do have a question. Looking at the lease that's in front of us here, I know this is going to be for a 3-year, but the lease term on that states 48.
And this is the lease quote. You may recall that until we actually take delivery of the vehicle, that we don't execute the lease, so we can otherwise resolve that as a part of the final document.
So, and the other question is that the current interest rate that's quoted here, does that get adjusted when the vehicles actually come, when we actually sign the lease for that? Okay, because the current 3-year is a little bit less than what they're quoting right here on this one, so. But it will be adjusted when it comes in. Okay.
I'm assuming that the terms of the lease are just a typo, but if that changes anything in any substantive manner, we'd bring it back.
Well, you just want to make sure because there's different residuals for 36 and for 48 normally. So you'd want to make sure that we're getting
Sure.
what it is
Yep.
for 36 because it's a higher residual rate for 36 and 48.
Makes sense. I think we'll look into it, and if it changes anything, I think we've got time, because they're not going to be ready next month anyway. Any further questions? Good catch. So we had a motion and a second. Okay, I'm just making sure. I don't want to lose track. Any further comments or questions? Hearing and seeing none, please call the roll.
Alderman Meyer,
Aye.
Alderman Hancher,
Aye.
Alderman Bach,
Aye.
Alderman Parrish,
Aye.
Alderman Schneider,
Aye.
Alderman Gebhardt,
Aye.
Alderman Strelchak,
Aye.
Alderman Telako.
That too is adopted. Resolution 4064, a resolution approving the First Amendment to an intergovernmental agreement between Mequon, the City of Mequon and the Village of Thiensville, establishing the Southern Ozaki Fire and Emergency Medical Services Department. There's a recommendation forthcoming from Public Safety earlier this
Yep,
evening.
and this resolution was unanimously approved by the Public Safety Committee this evening.
Thank you for that. Is
Move
there
approval.
a motion
Second.
and a second? Any further comments or questions on any of these items? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? That resolution is too adopted. Next, Resolution 4065, a resolution approving the purchase of 4 2024 Ford Police Interceptor sport utility vehicles from Ewald Automotive Group, Hartford, Wisconsin, and the purchase and installation of associated equipment from General Communications of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, in an amount not to exceed of $195,876. Recommendation from Public Safety is forthcoming.
Recommendation from Public Safety Committee this evening was unanimously for approval.
Thank you. Are there any questions, or is there
Move
a motion?
approval.
Motion
Second.
and a second. Any further comments or questions from the council? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Alderman Hancher,
Aye.
Alderman Bach,
Aye.
Alderman Parrish,
Aye.
Alderman Schneider,
Aye.
Alderman Gebhardt,
Aye.
Alderman Strelchak, Alderman Telako, and Alderman Meyer.
Aye.
And that too is approved. Next is Resolution 4066, a resolution approving receipt of a donation from the Mequon Thiensville Community Foundation in the estimated amount of $19,000 for the purchase and training of a new police canine dog and other associated equipment. Recommendation forthcoming by Public Safety.
Public Safety, again, unanimously approved this item. They were very appreciative and thankful to have another police canine dog in the city. And the committee was also very appreciative of the ongoing support of the Mequon Thiensville Community Foundation of this program.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion and a second. I'd also like to echo that thanks. It's been a great partnership to have this relationship and have that service available. I know the police department loves it, and when you have the dogs, everything's easier. So, very grateful for that. So, much thanks to the Mequon Thiensville Community Foundation. I forget, was there a motion and a second? Okay. Any further comments or questions? Anyone want to echo their thanks? I'm sure we're all thankful.
I think that's unanimous.
It should be. Hopefully the vote will be too. Please call the roll.
Alderman Bach,
Aye.
Alderman Parrish,
Aye.
Alderman Schneider,
Aye.
Alderman Gebhardt,
Aye.
Alderman Strelchak,
Aye.
Alderman Telako, Alderman Meyer,
Aye.
and Alderman Hancher.
Aye.
And that item's also approved. Congrats, Chief. It'd be nice to have another dog in the house there. Next is Resolution 4067, a resolution awarding a contract to rehabilitate 7 sewer laterals from external cleanouts in the Riverland Drive Lift Station H area to Aqualius of Green Bay, Wisconsin, in the amount of $123,027. This was recommended earlier this evening by the Sewer Utility District Commission.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further comments or questions? Hearing or seeing none, please call the roll.
Alderman Parrish.
Aye.
Alderman Schneider.
Aye.
Alderman Gebhardt.
Aye.
Alderman Stralchuk.
Aye.
Alderman Talaco. Alderman Meyer. Alderman Hancher.
Aye.
And Alderman Bach.
Aye.
And that resolution is also approved. Resolution 4068, a resolution approving an award for a contract for the completion of MMSD post-sewer lateral rehabilitation reporting requirements in the Riverland Drive H and Riverland Park F lift station areas to R.A. Smith of Brookfield, Wisconsin, in the amount not to exceed of $39,062. This was recommended earlier this evening by the Sewer Utility District Commission. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further comments or questions? Hearing or seeing none, please call the roll.
Alderman Schneider.
Aye.
Alderman Gebhardt.
Aye.
Alderman Stralchuk.
Aye.
Alderman Talaco.
Aye.
Alderman Meyer.
Aye.
Alderman Hancher.
Aye.
Alderman Bach.
Aye.
And Alderman Parrish.
Aye.
That also is approved. Last resolution, 4069, a resolution awarding a contract for the inspection of 218 sanitary sewer laterals in the Ranch Road E lift station area to R.A. Smith of Brookfield, Wisconsin, in the amount not to exceed of $186,804. This was also recommended earlier this evening by the Sewer Utility District Commission. Is there a motion?
Move to approve Resolution 4069.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further comments, questions? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye when your name is called.
Alderman Gebhardt. Alderman Stralchuk.
Aye.
Alderman Talaco.
Aye.
Alderman Meyer.
Aye.
Alderman Hancher.
Aye.
Alderman Bach.
Aye.
Alderman Parrish.
Aye.
And Alderman Schneider.
Aye.
That too is approved. On to ordinance. We have just one ordinance. Ordinance 2023-1652, an ordinance amending Chapter 2 of the Mequon Municipal Code, incorporating various changes resulting from the First Amendment to an intergovernmental agreement establishing the Southern Ozaki Fire and Emergency Medical Services Department. This was recommended by the Public Safety Commission on June 13th, 2023, recommended by Southern Ozaki Fire and Emergency Medical Services Board on July 12th, and the first reading was last month at Common Council on June 13th. Does anyone have any questions, or is there a motion?
Move approval.
Second.
Motion and a second. No comments or questions from anyone? Going once, twice? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? That ordinance is adopted. We have no specified unfinished business from prior meetings. We have no specified new business. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And we're adjourned. Thank you, everyone.